Hello guys, welcome back to the part 2 of this OGC CDB series. In case if you did not get a chance to watch the first part, then please watch it. And in short, I have started this series to understand the OGC CDB format and how to use the PRISA-GIS libraries to extract the relevant informations. In order to understand the OGC CDB format and the related things, I have collected the information and tried to put down in a systematic manner. So in this video, I am going to cover the very important terminology which is used in GIS. So let's start with this. So okay, up to this point, we understand that what is GIS and why it is important and the different applications and the different tools used for GIS. Broadly, two special technologies are used to capture the geographical data. One is through the global positioning system and one is through the remote sensing technologies. And these two technologies collect the data and prepares the database and fed it to the geographical information system. Okay, now the remote sensing technology itself is a very vast field, and similarly the global positioning system. So we are not going into the depth of that. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Two kinds of spatial data models used in GIS. One is raster model and one is vector model. In raster model, information is stored in rectangular grid of pixels. For example, as you can see on the screen, on the right hand side, there is a one image, okay, and the information of this image is stored in terms of pixel. Every pixel have unique value. For example, the pixel value at this place will represent of a shade of a blue color, and here the pixel value will represent the shade of a green color. Okay. In GIS, raster model is used to store the different kind of information of a particular geographical area. For example, one information type is the image of that particular area. Second is the elevation data of that particular geographical area. Third is the temperature levels at different points of that particular geographical area. And all this kind of data or the images is collected by the remote sensing technology. Okay, let me demonstrate this thing to you in Google Earth. As you see on a screen, this is a image or a picture of a particular geographical area, and the corresponding elevation data of this image is this one. This raster image or data have a elevation value of this particular geographical area. Elevation means that its altitude, and in other terms, how much is the height from the sea level of this particular geographical area. In GIS, different formats are used to represent the elevation data. For example, .tif format, .dem format, .dted format, and etc. The second model is a vector model, and it is again divided into spatial model and the non-spatial model. And in spatial model, there are three features comes under the vector model. One is point, one is line, and one is polygon. Now a simple question comes in mind: what's the use of point, line, and polygon in geographic space? These three features are used to represent the different kind of objects on a earth. For example, the point feature is used to represent the tree, street poles, and the similar kind of objects on earth. The lines are used to represent the road, rivers, and similar kind of objects on earth. Polygons are used to represent the structures, buildings, boundaries, or similar kind of things which have some closed loop. Okay. So all these features comes under spatial data. All these features have the geographic reference information location. Let's understand this thing via Google Map. So here, as you can see, the same geographical area is represented here in a different terms. It is represented in terms of lines and polygons. So here the line feature is used to draw roads, and the polygon feature is used to draw the buildings or structural information. The vector model is again divided into the spatial and the non-spatial. So here spatial model specifically stores the location of that object, and the non-spatial model stores the attributes of that object. Attributes mean to say that the characteristics associated with that object. So let's understand this thing in our next slide. So here, as you can see, special data have unique geographic coordinates that allow the data to be located in geographic space. Here, this particular object have a specific location X and Y. Now let's move to the next slide. In the next slide, this non-spatial data, what does it mean? This particular object have its type, fire hydrant type, its color, its red, and its last fix, and some other information of this particular object. So this comes under the attribute data or the non-spatial data. Okay. This vector information is stored in a particular format called as shapefiles, and its extension is .shp. And apart from that, other formats are also used to store that information. So let's have one more example of this. Here I am using ArcGIS tool to showcase vector data. And as you can see on the screen, it's a map of India, and it is in form of a vector data. And every boundary, it is a closed boundary, and it is uses a polygon feature. And let's say if I click to the India district boundary, so now the more polygons comes in picture. And if I click to the India Tehsil boundary, and here you can see the more polygons are comes in picture. So in this way, vector information is used to represent the geographical area. Okay. So up to this point, we have a fair understanding of what is raster model and what is vector model, and what are the differences in raster and vector model. And some differences are very obvious. For example, raster model gives a clear image of that geographical area, where your vector model gives a clear map of that particular geographical area. And secondly, in a raster model, when you zoom the picture, then pixels are pixelate, and whereas in case of a vector model, when you zoom the picture or a map, then the picture remains the same. So I will showcase you on the Google map how it looks. Here, as you can see this image, and when you zoom it this image, then your pixels get pixelate. In case of a vector model, when you zoom the screen, the image will remains the same. Okay. Let's move to the next slide to understand the coordinate system. Broadly, three kind of coordinate systems are used. One is geocentric, geodetic, and plane. And here we are referring the geodetic coordinate system because it is used in the OGC CDB. So its definition is a geographic coordinate system is a method which uses latitude, longitude, and altitude for identifying the location of an object over the three-dimensional surface of the earth. Okay. And the representation of the geodetic coordination system is in terms of latitude and longitude. The OGC CDB format is particularly using the WGS84 coordinate system, which stands for World Geodetic System, and it is developed by the Department of the Defense. Apart from this, a lot of other information is available on coordinate system. And in nutshell, the OGC CDB format uses WGS84, which comes under geodetic coordinate system. Okay guys, in this video, I have covered the very important terminology as used in any GIS system. And thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.